Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Crochet and Chaos with coffee
With
or your
coffee.
bevy of choice. or your bevy of choice. I'm Melly. This is Lily, opposite of me.
Yep.
And we're going to just dive right in today by me asking Lily, how are you, Lily?
Gosh, I am excited that it's the weekend, happy that it's the weekend. We've both had quite a week, which is what we're going to end up talking about this week because sometimes we have to put the fiber aside and just do all the lifing things. But yeah, busy,
Yeah.
tired, exhausted, happy to not be at work. What about you?
Yeah, it's been I don't know. It's funny how sometimes a week that, like last week, for instance, was full of a lot of things for my kids, something every night. That
Yeah.
felt chaotic. But then this week, which was seemingly better with school, not as many things that we had to do, it was like everything closer to me kind of started to
Yeah.
spiral. Things that aren't like wide out here. Oh, these are scheduling things, whatever. You just deal with it, you just do it. But then
Yep.
things that are like close to you, like trying to finalize a pattern and something going on with my laptop and things just like on a personal thing, just like stuff on Instagram, like all those little things, like they almost kind of spiraled all at the same time. And
Yeah.
we're going to dive into some of it. And if anybody can relate out there, don't even lie, tell the truth, shame the devil. You know that you can relate to
Yeah.
probably 74% of the things we're about to talk about.
74 is not really a number that people tend to pull from. I would have gone like around 75. I like 74
I
though.
don't I don't like doing the expected numbers. I always
Yeah.
like to pull like a weird non on the 5 or 10 number. It just makes it sound more believable and like I know what I'm talking about.
I might have to borrow that in the future.
Go ahead.
Um,
I don't own it. It's fine.
well, before we get too deep into our weeks and our lives and just what's going on, do you have any current whips?
I okay. You know what's kind of funny is that I have two empty baskets in front of me today because I finished
Uh-uh.
one. I did. I finished a whip that
Melly.
was a test. I'm so proud.
Look
Oh
at
my gosh, can we
you.
count? Let's count a win for the week.
Okay.
And then I had another one. I had to do a book square for one of my books. It's been sitting on my table forever. And I did that while I was sitting here today. And I have two empty bins
Wow.
sitting here on my bed in front of me.
Ooh,
I don't even
that's
know.
a good feeling. Congrats.
I mean, I feel like an exclamation
Yeah.
point would just right on the week,
That's
you know.
fantastic.
So yeah, what about you? Are you still whipping on a couple of things?
I am also quite proud of myself. I in our first episode I talked about the sweater I was making for my sister-in-law. Got that finished.
Yes.
Got to
Sweet.
give that to her. That was so exciting. Um
She loved it, right? I mean, I need to know the
she loved
reaction.
it. Yes. I am still waiting for a picture of it, but no pressure there. I didn't. We had gone to
Pressure,
visit
pressure.
for like a whole different purpose, and I was like, "While we're here, I'll give this to you." And so I didn't want to be like, "Oh, do you mind like also just like modeling it for a second?" Which I mean, under different circumstances, I probably would have. But it didn't feel right, so I didn't ask her to model it for a picture. I just said, when you happen to be wearing it,
Me
take a picture. That'd be great. But yeah, she loved
and
it.
me, I'd have been like, let me put it on and show
Yeah.
you what it looks like now.
Right.
Take the pictures. Gosh, it's so funny. People's
I
personality
know.
shifts are
Um,
so great.
so in addition to that, I also finished a blanket for my coworker who just went out to have her little baby, which I'm so excited about. And
This was
that
the
was
one you
your
showed me.
pattern. And that was
Yes.
really fun. So if y'all haven't made the Juliet yet, which I'm sure currently our listener base, everyone has, but the square is about 11 inches, which is so great because 4 squares makes a nice, like, stroller size blanket.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the group of mine at my work, there's 5 of us. And so I was like, well, if everybody makes a square and then I join it, then instead of making 5 blankets for our coworker, we can just make one. And that was really fun because we met up during lunch. I will say my coworker got a little suspicious at one point. She's like, y'all haven't been here for lunch for a while. Like, are you mad at us? Like, no, 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 no. We're just trying to be secret about something.
Did you just cancel us?
Right?
How dare you? We
Yeah.
want to have lunch too.
And it took
You know
a
what
little
I think
longer
is
than
so
expected because of different people's
Oh,
like speed, and there were some
of
new
course.
stitches there. But it was so everybody loved it. It was so fun, and it came out so
I'm
great.
glad.
So multiple whips completed, and I'm in the middle
I love
of
that.
making a blanket blanket for my friend Kaylee. We're doing a blanket swap, which I'm so excited about, but that's going to
I
take forever.
and I have seen pictures of this, and I cannot reveal
No.
anything because Kaylee listens to this
Yeah.
podcast. And I can tell you that it is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well, the way this came
And
about was we decided to swap blankets, and so we picked a granny square pattern. So we're both making the same blanket, but the color palette is secret.
yes.
So she knows about the
Yes.
square. She's already joined mine apparently, but I'm
Okay,
slower.
well,
than
she's
she
a
is.
superwoman. She's a
It's true.
superwoman.
Very true.
She tests for me
Yes.
all the time.
Yep.
I mean, she's a key tester,
Yeah.
and she made 4 blankets in the first pattern test she did for me.
Yeah.
The first blanket she made while she was on vacation. She went to buy the yarn.
Yep.
One day when it
Oh,
was
I remember
raining,
that.
she made it. 2.5 days later, she had the small version of the Juliet made, and I was like, I loved you before, but you actually shot yourself right in the foot because now you have to test for me forever. So good job proving that you're what you're capable of.
Yeah.
But I can say Lily messaged me about the color schemes and stuff the other day. She wasn't sure something was vibing, and I felt very honored to give very minimal input. I don't know that I helped at all, but I did help guide the river of palette selection, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
actually,
so I had
you pulled out
Kaylee.
your new yarn sample pegs, and that was
little
fun.
yarn pegs.
Yes,
that was fun.
That was good.
What are you drinking? Did we ask what we're drinking?
No, we didn't. I am actually drinking coffee today. Quite proud of it.
Oh my gosh, I have water and coffee.
Extra hydration.
See, I think that I'm improving. I like to think that I'm improving. So I'm what is that called? Two-fisting it, as it were? Is that a thing you can say?
Double fisting, yeah.
Double fisting? I don't know.
I feel like I'm too far past that time frame in my life.
But mine has 0 alcohol in it because I'm insert whatever age you think I am here, and I'm not about that. No. So anyways,
should we plug our merch for a second? Because after our first episode,
I wish people could see us.
I really quickly put a little merch store together, which was kind of fun.
I had people asking.
Yeah, mine came today. Yours came earlier in the week. I got mine today. Yep. I was so excited.
So Lily, you can't see her, but we'll try to post some pictures of us. I already posted mine. I'm in like the charcoal gray. I really like it. It makes the word stand out, but I love seeing that the lighter gray that Lily
It's actually
has.
a
you
blue,
see it
but
too?
yeah.
Oh, is it a blue?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
the
just
with coffee blends in a little bit, but whatever. I love it.
I still see it.
Nice.
No,
yeah,
it still stands out. It looks great. I got the crew neck sweatshirt. I think it was so. I bought it in my true size medium, which fits just fine. Yeah. I'm usually an oversized girl, just for people who are weird on sizing and know that, like me. A large would be that oversized fit, and I may get one later on when we have some verbiage or some sayings, whatever we decide to do next. I may get a large.
I gotta make the sassy fiber gremlin version of it.
I will wear that.
I haven't had time for that.
That feels like you need a large sweatshirt, like an oversized, just to carry around all your sassy fiberness. So
I love it.
You need extra room. So life was lifing this week. We talked back and forth throughout the week, and my gosh, it was really wild. Yeah. You or me go first. What should we do? A rundown?
A rundown. You go. I gotta think about my rundown.
Okay. Oh geez. See, my earring is even about to fall out of my ear. This is how hard life is lifing, y'all. I have one of those twisty ears. Okay, I got it. It's fine. Maybe I shouldn't go first. Jesus help me. So I just had balancing of a million things. Yeah. The Chloe scarf was released this week, and I also was working on the Chloe cardigan kind of behind the scenes. So I released sneak peeks of that, all the while trying to finish up the scarf. And literally, we never take things down to the wire when we're working on patterns, but I did it this time, and I will never do it again. Yeah. I took it to the day before, where I had one more photo to input. It was my own photo. It was not even a tester photo. I did this to myself. Normally we go minimum 2 days before, so we have time to work glitches out. Yeah. Well, nothing glitched on the previous pattern that we knew of, so we knew that this pattern had the same layout. It shouldn't have glitched. Nothing should have happened. Well, guess what? what was it, 8:30 at night, something like that. I
Yeah.
look at the pattern, I open it up again, and I notice
I
something
think
is
it was
wrong.
like
And
10. Well, maybe you looked at it at 8, but it
was
was 10 by the time you
it
messaged
was
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was close. And so I'm
Oh,
messaging Lily and I'm like, what is going on? What is this? I sent her a screenshot. I said, this is whack. What is going on? I don't understand. And
yeah.
like I'm texting Allie and Lily's like, I'm so tired. And then we'll get into why she's so tired later. She's like, I just need to go to bed. I'll fix it in the morning. I
I
swear.
already taken my
Right.
NyQuil for my cold. I was
I know.
not getting out of that bed.
And the thing though, the thing that was funny was like, oh my gosh, I have to, this one I really had to figure out because worst case scenario, it just wouldn't have released on time. It's not really that big of a deal.
Well, and you
like
did push the release up a day because you were extra confident about it, and then
I was,
yeah,
and I didn't want to do the 14th because we had Matt signups today, and that was just too much to jump. I accidentally started. I overscheduled things. This is always my problem.
Yeah.
So
I will say you scheduled us first. We were scheduled first, then the Matt sign up. That no.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I did it to myself, but it all worked out. But it did work out. But we did have a little flub up, and Allie came in clutch. She helped because NyQuil Queen over here was really tired, and I also literally simultaneously, in the middle of this happening to me with this pattern, trying to compress it all these different ways and figure it out. Because y'all, I don't know if you realize this. If you have my pattern to see, there are links, there are photos, there are so many things. My patterns
premium pattern.
It's premium because there's a lot of work and there's a lot of photos and the file is so large that we have to compress it without losing all kinds of great quality. So it actually is a huge amount of work to figure that out and to get it to the right size and that sweet spot where it still looks pretty. So simultaneously, my laptop screen has been flickering weird. I thought I was just like having a seizure. I don't know. I literally, I don't mean to make that as a joke because my cousin my cousin who's next door, he's had seizures. I'm not making fun of that, but I literally wondered like, what is going on with my vision? Am I strobing? What is going on? Am I tired? No, it kept happening and happening. And I was finally, of course, in the middle of this, I decided it's a great time to get in touch with Apple coverage because why not? The shiz has already hit the fan. Why don't we just smear it around? I don't know. So I get on the thing with them and I'm like doing the thing and I have to go into safe mode and I have to redo this. And I'm like, I'm going to just fudge up my computer. Right?
Oh, wow.
Well, thankfully that fixed it.
Oh, good.
And I want to say, can I say something I'm so proud of with myself? Because I spiral when stuff like that happens. I panic. Lily was already telling me, not knowing that I wasn't actually totally spiraling. She was already saying, don't panic. It's going to be fine.
Well, because we had time in the morning. I was like, I'm going to bed. I'll fix it in the morning. By the time I woke up, she had fixed it. But anyways.
Allie fixed it. Allie fixed it.
You had it resolved.
She came in.
Yeah.
I had it resolved. But I didn't ever completely spiral. I didn't cry. I didn't fluster. I was a little, I was hot.
Yeah.
I was physically very hot. I was warm. I had to start, I think I had this sweatshirt on and I had to strip the sweatshirt.
No,
like,
you have a bit of a tell when you're in that pre-panic space, which is you'll send a message. I'll be replying to that message. And right after I send the reply, there's another message and you've moved on. And I'm like, okay, all right, we are at warp speed. We're not processing all of the information just yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's good friendship right there. This is why we communicate sometimes not well and sometimes very well. It's all an interesting process, but we take it as it comes. And it's funny that she says that because it's true. I'll start rapid firing. Yeah. I am a rapid fire texter anyways, but when I do start spiraling a little, I'm like, okay, but it's doing this. Okay, but it's doing this. And I start like texting like a Gilmore Girl. Yeah. It's wildly insane. So all of that was resolved. Thankfully, we're good. We're moving on. We're moving on to cardigan things. Yay. It's going to be great. And we've learned that we need a full week to make sure everything is good to go on many different platforms so that it's better for you guys when you buy the pattern. Absolutely. I'm not rushing that cardigan. That cardigan's going to be perfect. I'm not racing to a finish line. Yep. It's going to come out when it's going to come out and it's going to be beautiful. And if you guys want it, when it's not cold anymore, I don't know if it'll still be cold. It's fine. I accept all things.
Well, we can, we can bank on that. It'll take people a little while to make the cardigan, so then by the time 90%. It's done, it will be cooling off, and then it's
going to be great.
Yeah. I think it'll work.
It's going to be great. Yeah. My mom also, the very last thing this week, my mom has been trying to get her house prepped for what's happening today, which is
Yeah.
construction.
Oh.
They're blowing walls out and
Oh,
they've done great
okay.
things and it looks amazing. But
Awesome.
she was stressing and we had to get her a pod
Yeah.
because if you, I assume everybody knows what a pod
Yeah,
is.
it's just
Pod
a
is, it's not an
mobile
alien
storage
thing.
unit.
It's just a
Yeah.
thing. It's just mobile storage.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if you're listening and you don't know what a pod is, I figure they're all over the United States. I don't know. It's not regional, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, she at the very same time as my husband and I were talking about my mom should get a pod. She's texting us going, "How much did that pod cost?"
Oh,
When
no.
she got it? Said, "Yeah, you need a pod. Please get the pod." So it's in the front yard over
Yep.
there, and she's got things, and she sounded in a really better mood. So
Oh, good.
my mom stresses, I stress for
Yeah.
her, and now I feel like I don't have to stress for her as much. So
Good.
that was the very minimal version
Yeah.
of my week.
Wow.
But we only have 30 minutes,
It's
and I need
true.
to give some time to my sweets
We're at
over here.
15. I think we're okay right now.
We're okay. We're okay.
I mean, our first 2 episodes we went over time, so
we're gonna keep it under 42 this time because that's what we did last time.
yeah, it was actually
what
it
about
was under 40. It was seconds under 40.
what about your week though? Because a lot of yours, I feel like you were coming at me with like work.
Yeah.
Work,
So
work.
I feel like I just keep waiting. I'm like, and this has been we're probably approaching a year that I've been like, well, work will settle down at some point, and then it's just like no. And if it's not work, it's life, and sometimes it's both. I came off of a difficult week last week, which I think impacted my week this week. So for those that don't follow me on Instagram, I had to put my dog down. He was almost 17, so it was a very, long life. He lived a good life. But for those that are pet parents, your pets are a family member, so losing them
They're your
is
babies.
really difficult. And so that had me.
You had him longer than your children.
Yeah, I mean he was my first child. Yeah, it just
I get that, and we both had that happen in within weeks of each other. We've been attacked by the pet sadness,
and it just it puts you in a fog. Your brain doesn't quite function the same as it usually does. So that happened midweek last week. The weekend last weekend was really challenging, and that was where I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, but you had reached out to me to kind of like where are we at with those final edits on that PDF, and I had said something to you of like, you know what, I'm gonna take a look at it during the week. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then usually I either lunch break or if I have a little bit of downtime at work or sometimes just right after work I will pop onto Canva and get some stuff done when my brain is still actually functioning.
Right.
And then Monday was really busy, and then Tuesday was really busy, and then
I wasn't
Wednesday
panicking
was really
at all.
busy. And so,
because she's never let I mean that seriously though,
no.
because Lily has never let me down.
No.
She will lose sleep before
Yes,
she'll let me down, and it's the same way with me, with her.
Yeah.
I would just sacrifice, but
Yeah.
I also can't.
And we had been in the pattern, right? We had been in the pattern for a while now. I knew what work was ahead of me. It's not like although I did panic slightly because I confused halfway through the scarf pattern. We created a document for the cardigan pattern, and I was like, oh, I have to go in and I have to figure out color palettes and do that. And you were like, stop, hold on, Lily, this is the scarf, not the sweater. And I was like, oh, right, okay, all that's already figured out. So I knew that it wasn't a ton of work. Yeah. But then I just didn't have time to go through it. And I like to go through things 3 or 4 times just to catch those extra typos or those inconsistencies.
And you did.
Or, whether we've got a word in quotes on one page, but not in quotes on the other page or whatever. So, but I mean, Monday happened and I was like, I'm tired. And I was coming off of a cold. I had a cold the week before. And, it was your basic head cold, right? Congestion and whatever. But then it kind of like moved a little bit and settled into my chest. So I had a cough that was keeping me up at night as well. So I was taking NyQuil to get some good sleep, and then work was doing its working thing, and my kids, I got to take my kids to both my kids do dance class, so it's 3 dance classes a week. I do 2 of them. It's appointments, it's work, it's all those things, and I was grateful though that I didn't have any fiber deadlines beside. I mean, your pattern obviously is related to fiber, but like that's digital work, right? And sitting on my computer, and I can kind of do that in different places. But I didn't have anything that I had to stitch up with a imminent deadline, so that was not terrible. But I busy. And I'm glad it's Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. We both. I said something today, and if this could happen, it never will. But it's cute to think about. If I could just fall off of
Yeah.
the planet for like a week and nobody needs
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I don't have to answer any
Yeah.
messages. And let me also say I don't mind Instagram
No.
messages. I actually love them.
Yeah.
I love opening my inbox and seeing like happy shares,
Yeah.
and I love it. I love answering questions from
Yeah.
people, guys. It's people say sorry to bother you. I'm like, bother me. I actually thrive on helping people. Like I'm a
Mm-hmm.
weirdo. And I'm like, I'll send a voice memo and they're like, thanks for the voice memo. I was
Yep.
like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. This is not, don't say thank you. You are gonna hate me by the end of your relationship with me. But that's probably, hopefully that's not true. But I was like, if we could just fall off the face of the earth for like just a couple of days
Yeah.
and just not have responsibilities, I
Well,
feel
because
like I could refresh.
as much as you enjoy the outreach and all the things that you're doing, you are still human, right? So it's
Yeah.
not like, things add up and too much of something ends up being not great. So I think I replied to
Exactly.
that message and I was like, oh, that sounds dreamy. I support that for you.
She's like, I love that for you. I love that. I hope that comes. I hope your
Great.
dream. Wait, I have it here. Let me see if I can pull up my reply. She said, that sounds dreamy. I support that endeavor for you. These are the kind of messages
Yeah.
that I get back, and I read them literally in her voice, and I'm like, yes, I realize you're saying I support this endeavor for you, but really you're saying you're a loon, and that's never going to happen. So live in your dream. That's why she said that sounds dreamy.
It sounds dreamy also because like I agree. Like it would be nice to not be needed for something and
nice.
just exist. Although I think I would probably withdraw from the amount that I am connected. I have been trying to put my devices down more and be more present and in the moment. And
It's hard.
the tech addiction is real, and
Yeah.
I don't really walk around calling myself addicted to technology or whatnot, but I probably am. So
I think it's a habit thing,
Yeah.
I feel like we're drifting into another topic, but that's okay
Yeah.
because it's what we do. But I feel like I do that. I love it when I actually do forget about my
Yeah.
phone for like an hour, and then I realize I don't know where I left my phone.
Oh,
Where did I leave it?
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That is a good realization of like, wow, I
Mm.
didn't realize that I needed to forget where my phone was for a
Mhm.
second because my kid's here, my husband's here.
Yeah.
I can hear it. I can feel it ring on whatever on my
Okay,
wrist if
yep,
somebody needs
yep.
me. But it was like, wow, okay, this is good actually. So sometimes I'm going to say part of self-care is probably just going and plugging your phone up to charge in a completely different room that you're in.
Mhm.
And I know our friend Lori of Created Me Crochet actually has a time frame. There's like a 5-hour time frame in the day
Yeah.
that I have learned finally that she is unavailable on Instagram.
I like
She
it.
pulls herself off and she just is there for her family
Yeah.
and she's taking care of them and she's doing all her wife and mama things. And yeah, I'm starting to really love that though, where it's like,
Yeah.
maybe I need to implement like a midday tech dropout,
Yeah.
where
I think
I'm like,
that's
okay,
smart
so
though.
yeah, like maybe after I usually do my post on Instagram around 1:30ish. That's a good time for me.
Yeah.
I catch those post lunch early get off crowds depending on your time that you're in.
Yep.
Maybe if I go like 1:30 to 3:30 or 4 and I just have like a couple hour tech dropout and I just do something
Mhm.
where I go put my phone away, like maybe at least across the
Yeah.
house where I can still hear it if I need
Right.
it.
Well,
But
that was going to
maybe
be
I
a
should try
question
that.
for you was do you have a landline? 'Cause I don't have a landline, so then I get anxious if
No.
my phone is too far away and somebody calls and they
Right.
need me. And
I think that's
a-
the problem we've gotten into is
Yeah.
because we don't have landlines
Yeah.
anymore. And I grew up with one, but we don't
Right?
have one.
Yeah.
So we do feel like, especially when our kids are not with us,
Yeah.
they're at school. Well, I need my phone because
Mhm.
if the school calls, then,
Mhm.
but you know what? I can just put it like in the kitchen
Yeah,
2 rooms
yeah, yeah.
away and turn my sound on and
Yeah.
I'll still be able to hear it. And I have my watch on and it'll alert me if I'm getting a
Mhm.
call. So, or like earlier when you called me, every single device I have went off. So, Lily's calling. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what to answer. I started to have a panic attack. Like, what is going on? Why is everything ringing? It's because they're
funny.
all Apple devices
Yes,
and they
they're all
all
connected.
join forces. Yes.
Yeah, I think having a little tech break built in is smart. I've been listening to a book called The Anxious Generation, and
Ooh.
that talks a lot about the
AKA millennials.
well,
not really, but
actually, the book
how
talks
we
about Gen
live.
Z is the anxious generation, the ones that were
Really?
raised on devices. So millennials, you
That
and I
that
are about a year
tracks.
apart, 2 years, almost 2 years apart.
Yeah.
And so we had the tech free childhood, right? But the kids that
Yeah,
grew
we
up
did.
with the phones and the iPads and whatever, and I haven't finished the book. So far, it's really good, but it's really emphasizing the impact of connectivity and how
Yeah.
we have to moderate how we're connected.
Yeah.
So I'll finish that probably in a month or two because I don't read very quickly, listen to stories, books quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, and it's got me considering, like, shoot, maybe I need to come home from work and just turn stuff off. And you're very you have a good routine for posting on Instagram. I don't have that. I
Yeah.
think, my Instagram is
Hmm.
a good tell of how busy I am, right? So if I'm not posting a lot, it's because I'm busy and I don't have time to figure out
Hmm.
what I want to post about and take the nice picture and edit the
Right.
picture and then put the picture up and do all those things. And
Sometimes,
um
so, and see, you work a job where you're away from your home
yeah.
too for almost 5 days a week, right?
Oh, yep, all the
So, or
yep,
for
yep.
5 days, yeah. So my job, especially right now, I'm not
Yeah.
really super busy. So my job doesn't require me to always be away from my house.
Yeah.
And if I am, it's usually late in the afternoon anyways.
Yep.
So I'm pretty much at home. Um, so a lot of times I'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't have something prepared. And I'll literally throw something on my
Yeah,
bed.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I have taken pictures of things in front of me before and been like, this is the chaos and the reality
Yep.
that we're living in today. And this is what we're posting.
Yeah.
So here you go. And do you know how many comments I get on posts like
Well,
that
because
where it's like,
people
oh my
want
God,
real, which is why
this
we're
is
doing the podcast the way we
relatable.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Life's a mess, you
It
guys.
is.
Life is just a mess.
It
And
is.
I think that part of something that we have to remind ourselves of is we can't control everything.
No.
Sometimes embracing the chaos is really hard, but you need to take the little wins. You
Yep.
just need to approach like, hey, guess what, my computer screen is totally fine now,
Yeah.
and the pattern got
Yeah.
posted, and I had some sales on it and people are
Yay.
enjoying it. And
Good.
these are the little wins. My
Yeah.
daughter had a great week at school.
Good.
We had her not watch TV this week because
Yeah.
she's been having some attitude adjustments that she needs. And honestly,
Yeah.
TV wrecks my kid's attitude. She has been a sweetheart this week. Her demeanor has been even sweeter than she
Mm-hmm.
normally is, and I'm just so proud of her. So
Yeah.
we've had like little baby wins,
Yeah.
and that's so. I mean, bringing those baby wins though, like, is there self-care that you feel like you have implemented for yourself this week, or that you're going to do like tonight, tomorrow, before you hit the whirlwind of Monday coming up?
Great question. Self-care. For me this week, self-care was getting to bed on time and just, I am a night owl. I like to stay up. I like to get the time that I
Burrito doom
didn't
scroller.
get. Well, there's that too. But, I'm often up until 11:30 or so working on a crochet project, and that's my time, right? The world is asleep,
Yeah.
and I can watch what I want to watch, listen to what I want to watch, work on what I want to work on. And then I don't get a good night's sleep. I mean, the sleep itself is usually okay, but like the quantity, right? Because I'm staying
Yeah.
up late. So this week I really did prioritize. I was coming down off that cold. I was tired from just work being busy, so I really prioritized getting to sleep and getting some good sleep.
Good.
I think also, reaching out to and talking to people about what I had been going through. I had a dog when I was a kid, and from ages 6 to 19, which is a good long time for a dog as well. But losing people in my life, losing pets and whatever, was never something I really felt comfortable talking about, and I never felt like other people were comfortable talking about it to me. And so just finding moments, and I've had coworkers. Oh, there's our timer. I've had coworkers, come up to me and have a nice thing to say, and I've just found that, like, talking about my doggo has been the self-care that I needed. And instead of
That's
instead of
awesome.
pretending and just moving on and like, oh no, it's fine, well, it was just a pet. Or the other tendency, I think, is to like, I can't go to work, I need a whole week off, I need, you know what I mean. It was nice to go back to work. I was actually kind of busy, to the point that I wasn't dwelling on the sadness and the loss. So
That's
I
good
feel like
though.
I feel like prioritizing sleep and taking those moments to just talk about what I'm dealing with has been really helpful, and not therapy talk, but just like a quick conversation
No,
here and there,
just
and checking in.
yeah,
Yeah. So, what about
that's
you?
good. Well, um, I well, because I'm literally just coming off this week. My constant self-care though, if we'll be generic, is going like I go to the gym
Mm-hmm.
usually 4 days a week, sometimes five. I did go this morning. I actually didn't mean to. I accidentally forgot to take my sign in off, and if I don't show
Oh,
up, I
that's
do get
funny.
charged like $10.
Oh,
So I
oh
forgot.
no.
I forgot. It's fine.
Here I
I
am
actually
sitting
am
like,
really glad that I
how do
went.
you forget that you weren't going to go to the gym? Oh, that makes more sense.
I forgot to take myself off
Mm,
of the sign up list, but that's okay. I was like, no, I'm gonna go.
yeah.
I could take a mulligan, and my coach would be like, fine, that's your mulligan for the month. You can just drop out. And I was like, no, we'll just all go together. And it ended up being really nice.
Good.
I got like stretching in, and that felt
Mm-hmm.
really good. My body is, kind of recovering from the week, and then we took our daughter, who had to go with us, to the gym because we both went. We went and got this. There's this little place in town that does like energy juices, and
Mm-hmm.
they do protein smoothies and stuff, and there's no sugar in them. They're really, really good. And
No added
we
sugar, right? Because there's fruits in
no
there.
added
Yeah. Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. There's they'll literally tell you what's in.
Yeah.
There's vitamins in it,
Yeah.
and they're those juices. I forget what they're called, but
There's a term.
like
Yeah.
refreshers. But they're refreshers, but they ain't Starbucks. Okay. Well, we did that, and while we were there, instead of just getting the smoothies, we were like, oh, let's get Jules a waffle. It's
Mm-hmm.
got protein in it. It'll give her something good for her, and we got these protein donut things, and everything was really delicious, and it was
Yeah.
nice. We sat in the place, we ate there, and it was good to
Okay.
just be like, we don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to rush to the next thing. I think that's part of my self-care, is when I can remind myself, I'm not going to rush to the next thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and be. And then tomorrow, I'm planning on relaxing the rest of today. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to church. That's self-care for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my husband, I said, I can't promise what's going to happen tomorrow afternoon. I may pass out. I don't know. I may crochet. I may pass out with a hook in my
Yeah.
hand. I can't promise what's going to happen, but that's my plan, is to not make
Nice.
a plan tomorrow. That's
Nice.
going to be my self-care.
Nice. I have a question for you, a little behind the scenes question here. As we were planning our episode, and not that we plan it really down to the minute, right? That was the whole
No.
point of the podcast, that it was, chaotic and just kind of what happens. But we had this nice little plan of we were going to talk about our busy weeks, and then we were going to wrap it up without an unpopular fiber opinion. We were just going to talk about what we did for self-care. When we got there, though, did you have a moment where you were like, shoot, I don't really practice self-care? Because I did.
Hmm.
And then I'm like,
I don't.
no,
I don't.
how do
Yeah.
I reframe it? How do I really focus on, like, I am doing things to take care of? So
Yeah.
if you're listening and you're like, wow, self-care is hard for me, same.
It is.
Same. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you notice, I said my constant self-care
Yeah.
would be going to the gym. But honestly, outside of that and going to church once a week, I don't have like a specific set
Yeah.
aside. Is that something we should do? Like have
Mm.
this day, at least one day a week when I can fit it in, I am going to do this. There's people who meditate on a schedule. There's,
Mhm.
we're like on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I do my meditate.
Mhm.
There's people who meditate every morning. I've seen people meditate in the gym with the music blaring because they can get so centered. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a meditation person. I
Mhm.
don't know how to do that. I can't quiet my brain that well. But I wonder if there's like something. I would love to hear some ideas from people.
Did
What
you
are things
know
you do?
that research has shown that knitting and crochet has similar meditative effects as
That makes sense,
yoga
though.
and meditation? It's repetitive, it's
Yeah.
soothing, it helps the nervous system. I did.
Until you have a knot in your yarn, and
Yes.
then you get uncharacteristically angry at an inanimate object and you want to punch a wall. But other than that,
I'm glad it's not just
totally
me.
therapeutic.
You know what though? I had a moment while you were talking, and I was like, I did do something for myself for self-care, and it's a little
Oh.
humorous because it was an unintentional self-care act. Not sure if you recall. I think it was Wednesday night that you were, tapping on my phone saying, "Hey, pattern." And I decided that I wasn't going to do all the things that I needed to do, and I was going to give myself a pedicure. So I think that counts as self-care.
I have the foot pics to prove it.
Nope, they don't exist. There's no foot pics. We don't do that around here. Anywho.
That's all she sends me. She's like, hey, I'm not working on your pattern, but look what I did for me. I'm like, cool. I love that for you. So good. So what are you doing in 10 minutes? It was good. That your toes looked really pretty.
Thank you.
It was nice. Yes, it's good. I've got them. I've got them uploading on my new feet pics.
Hey!
Split the profits with you.
Okay, I want some royalties. All right. Yeah, I do enjoy going for pedicures, but I don't have time to fit them in, so I just do them myself. It works out.
Well, I would love to hear from a little bit. I would love to hear from people.
Yes.
Like, I want to know some ideas of self-care that you do, simple ones too. Like, I'm not talking about going away on a trip. I'm not talking about spa
little
vacation.
Things.
I'm talking about simple things that you do throughout the week. Can you please drop them in a comment for us? Because I am dying to know. We need it.
We need some advice. So, let us know what works for you.
That's and we'll report back maybe if we actually implement some of them and say, hey, this worked for me. Thanks, so and so. So you might get a shout out.
Ooh, a shout out. All right. Should we wrap up? We're not at 40 minutes yet, so I think we're okay.
I'm so proud.
All right.
I'm so proud.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everyone. Appreciate your time and attention, and we hope you had a nice time.
Yeah, absolutely. And take care of yourself, guys. See ya.
Bye.